Welcome to New Stripe City, a YouTube channel for die-hard Bengals fans. I'm your host, Ace Boogie. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, like this video. And today I want to talk about the big debate, right? AJ Green versus Julio Jones. Which one of these receivers are better? And this has been a debate since both were taken in the 2011 draft. And I think that it's a pretty close call. But to me, it reminds me of the comparison of two Hall of Fame receivers that just recently entered the Hall of Fame. And it's like Randy Moss versus Terrell Owens, right? You've got Randy Moss, who's the athletically gifted receiver that is a little bit skinny but still muscular. And then you've got Julio Jones, who's the guy that's like the Terrell Owens mode, where he's just big, fast, cut. And I think that this comparison will be the next similar comparison going into that. I think some people could say that AJ Green runs the best corner and post routes, while Julio runs the best in and out routes. And I think you also have to take into account, because when you look at Julio's receiving yards, right, he has significantly more, but AJ Green has significantly more touchdowns. And you have to look at targets, because AJ Green the last 5 years has a total target number of 523 targets versus Julio, who's got 677 in the last 5. And that's 154 more targets. That amounts to the equivalent of an entire another season worth of targets. So, I mean, it's similar to the Randy Moss, Terrell Owens comparison. And from a fan's perspective, a Bengals fan's perspective in particular, because we hear a lot of guys that get upset when we say that AJ is better than him. We feel like that if AJ Green was put into a better situation or drafted into a better situation and had a better supporting cast, we feel like he would be unquestionably the best wide receiver in the league. Like, it wouldn't even be a question. And mainly the difference is we think that the quarterback position is one of the main differences. Although Dalton is a great quarterback, Matt Ryan played at an MVP level. He's a former MVP. And he's also played with some pretty good receivers throughout his career. I mean, he's played with Roddy White. He's played with Tony Gonzalez. He's had some pretty complimentary weapons around him. And you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who wouldn't consider Matt Ryan the better quarterback of the two, right? Look at what he just did. I mean, he's thrown for 700 yards in the past 2 games. It's just ridiculous. And some forget that originally the trade that was made for Julio Jones was actually offered to the Bengals back in 2011, but the Bengals ended up rejecting the trade, and they felt that the value that was offered didn't line up with what they thought it should be. And when people did their research, according to the trade value charts, their 4th pick that year was worth about 1,800 points. And it was said that the Falcons' offer came in at around 1,700. So it can, I mean, honestly, we understand why the Bengals didn't take that trade, right? And although many of the people in our fan base believe that AJ Green has already had an unquestionable, cemented Hall of Fame career, we truly believe that if he had landed in Atlanta or with a stud quarterback, he'd unquestionably be the best receiver in the league. And so during my research, I actually found that Bucky Brooks interviewed anonymous scouts, and I just want to share some of their takes, because they were asked if they had the choice, which receiver would they rather have. And an NFC scout said that Green, he said that he's looser as an athlete and he has a better all-around game. Another NFC senior personnel executive said that he'd take Jones. He's bigger, he's more physical, plus Green is a bit of a disappearing act at times. I've seen too many defensive backs take the ball from him in critical moments. A former AFC general manager says Green. Easy answer. Durability equals availability. Jones is always battling through some kind of injury. He's like a Lamborghini. He costs more and is more powerful, but needs that high-end maintenance. Another AFC senior personal executive said Green. I like his hands and his route running skills. Jones is more explosive, but Green is the more polished player. Not just stopping there. John Harbaugh was actually asked this question, and he thought that it wasn't even close. Like, A.J. Green, in his opinion, is the better of the two. And I think that this past Sunday's game was just a reflection of how this comparison breaks down, right? So A.J. Green had 78 yards and a game-winning touchdown, and Julio had 173 receiving yards. But honestly, 68 of that total of that 173 came on a deep ball in garbage time, so you're talking about 103 yards. Would you rather have a guy have 78 yards and a game-winning touchdown, or a guy have 103, receiving yards, no touchdowns? I think we can all, show and pick who we'd pick between those two guys, and I think this proves why touchdowns may be more important. And even with the Moss and T.O. comparison, most people widely consider Randy Moss the better of the two. So to me, I still think that it's very close. But personally, I'd go with Green based off of the eye test. But I could totally understand if someone said Julio. But can we all just agree that they're both better than AB? Thank you. So like I said, I'm going with Green. And as usual, I'll leave you guys with a who day, all day, every day, and especially on Sunday.